This is Rabbi Orlofsky with the Parsha in 5, where in 5 minutes we try to give you a little insight into the Parsha. And this week's Parsha is, of course, Parsha's Bo. And in Parsha's Bo, we are told to shech the korban Pesach and take the blood and put it on the doorpost and put it on the lintel of your doorway, to basically paint it in blood. And we have that pasuk that we say at the Seder, B'damayech chayi, B'damayech chayi. By the blood you will live, the blood of the Korban Pesach and the blood of Bris Milah. When you think about it, there's a lot of blood in this story, more than I'm comfortable with, because I tend to get a little squeamish. We have obviously Makas Dam. We have Paro bathing in the blood of babies. Hashem gave Moshe a separate sign for Bnei Yisrael to take water and pour it on the ground and it'll turn into blood. There's a lot of blood here. There's another theme that you're going to find in these parshios, and that's Hichbadati es libo. And in this week's parsha, on the words Hichbadati es libo v'es leiv avadov, right? The Medrash says, I made his lave, hichbadati, I made his lave into a kabed, into a liver. Wow, that's a strange idea. I liverized his heart. What's the difference? So when I was learning for smicha, one of the things we had to learn was malicha, where before you can eat meat, you have to soak in salt in order to take out the blood. But there are two exceptions. One is a heart and one is a liver. A heart does not absorb blood because it's a muscle. So all you have to do is make a crisscross, empty out the blood, rinse it out, and you're done. A liver, it's filled with blood. You can't soak in salt it, you'll have nothing. I had a Rebbe who, his father was a butcher, and one time his friends were hungry, so he went down to the butcher shop and got a liver, and they figured, well, you got to soak in salt it, and they soaked in salt it, and when they were done, there was just a bucket of blood. It's all blood. You have to grill it on a fire to be able to remove the blood from it. But you can't soak and salt it. So I took something that never absorbs blood, a heart, and I turned it into a liver that always absorbs blood to the point that it's a lump of blood. What does that tell us? It tells us that the heart is kinetic. Boom, 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 boom. If it absorbed the blood, it would slow down. Boom, boom. Heart failure is because water is gathering around the heart and slowing it down. Boom, boom, yeah. And liver does nothing. It just lays there. It's a filter for your blood. But it's just a lump of blood. He says, go to Paro. He's not going to let you go, because his heart has become like a liver. And the Medrash makes it clear, he still had free choice. Right? The Medrash says he made his heart like a locked door. But you can, the Lev Eliyahu has a whole beautiful piece on this. He says, but you can open up a locked door. You know, find the key, get an axe and knock it down. He could have. But he had gotten so used to oppression that his heart, which should have had emotion and feeling, became like a lump, like a congealed mass. There was no more feeling left inside of him. And so in order for us to get out of Mitzrayim, we had to do a bris milah. Orla is from a word satum. It's related to the word sealed and closed. We had to open it up. And you see there's a concept of mal es levavchem. Open up your heart. Learn how to feel. Learn how to be alive. And that's why the Egyptians and Paro had grown dead emotionally, and they had no more feeling and no more meaning. And they had to come back to life. That's what we have to do in order to be saved. And that's why Rav Dessler writes that the Gemara in Sukkah says first Mashiach ben Yosef will come and then Mashiach ben Dovid. Why? Because Yosef is compared to the heart and Yehuda is compared to the head. The Mashiach is not going to come intellectually with our head. It's going to come emotionally. When we circumcise our heart and learn to feel again, then we can bring the Geula. Shabbos.